Unlock your best self with the Life Hack Pack from More Labs. The Life Hack Pack contains 2 bottles of Morning Recovery, 2 bottles of Dreamwell, and 2 bottles of Liquid Focus. The Life Hack Pack is specially designed to help you live your life not just better, but smarter. Morning Recovery is designed to be taken while drinking or up to an hour after your last drink. Dreamwell is designed to be taken 30 minutes before you're ready to fall asleep. And Liquid Focus is designed to be taken 30 minutes before you have to lock in and get stuff done. Supercharge your productivity at home or work with the Life Hack Pack from More Labs. Use promo code Radio15 at morelabs.com to get 15% off your first purchase of the Life Hack Pack or any of their other great products. That's promo code Radio15 to take advantage of this great promo of 15% off your first purchase at morelabs.com. The Life Hack Pack from More Labs. Drink smart with Morning Recovery, sleep easy with Dreamwell, and get more done with Liquid Focus. You can finally do it all with help from More Labs. Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weishottle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weishottle. Doug, World Series time. Never thought I'd say it. I never thought we'd get to it in this COVID environment, but I'm very happy to see it.
I think Major League Baseball is very happy to see it because there were some questions going into the season.
In the
bubble
beginning, in Texas. Yeah.
Geez. But it was one of those things where I'm actually very happy to see the World Series. I normally am okay with the playoffs more than the World Series. I've never really been too excited about a World Series. I like the playoffs more than anything else, but this is actually a good matchup because you're looking at the Dodgers versus versus Tampa Bay, the smallest payroll in the league.
I know.
Again.
I think there are 3 Dodgers that make more than the entire team of the Tampa Rays. So it's just absolutely amazing. The have and the have-nots are playing. So
and can Tampa Bay run right through these teams? They did the Yankees. They got them out there.
Who knows?
And honestly, I still think this could actually, if you're looking at betting on the Rays, they seem to match up very well with whoever they play with. And I think you're looking at a 6-7 game series.
Well, we'll see. We're right in the middle of it now, so we're a couple games in, so we shall see how this goes. Speaking of games in, what was it, week 6 of the NFL? I think
the COVID league.
Yes. I did pretty well in my picks. I went 2-1. How'd you do?
I did 1-2.
All right. Okay, and I think we're pretty close in the
we're
season.
Tied,
we're tied.
We'll talk about that a little bit more in the
we can't get any
segment.
more close. Oh, we got a great show coming up for you. Certainly going to have this week's NFL picks and also the Turnpike Sports Book Report. But I'm having an interview with a very exciting CEO and co-founder of a sports book. It's called Tennessee Action 24/7. I'm going to be talking with the CEO and co-founder Tina Hodges coming up. You want to stick around for that.
It's an all-Tennessee sports book. It's catered to the people of Tennessee, and they're going to try and compete with the big guys, and I think they got a good shot here.
It's been a busy week in sports, so let's take a trip down the Turnpike. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Okay, we're going to start off today's rundown with another media and sports betting operator deal.
Okay.
We have DraftKings doing a deal now with Turner Sports.
Oh, okay.
Multi-year deal. And this makes DraftKings their exclusive sportsbook and daily fantasy sports provider across Turner Sports and Bleacher Report properties. And this is excluding NBA, but it covers all other sports.
So it's all other sports except the NBA, right?
Right.
Okay.
The NBA is covered in a kind of deal between Turner and AT&T. AT&T really controls it, and AT&T has a deal with FanDuel for NBA properties.
So they carved out the NBA stuff.
Right.
All
Basically, FanDuel came in for the NBA. DraftKings has everything else.
Everything else, okay.
So it's going to be interesting to see this because, especially now, you had just this past weekend. We're going to talk about this in this week's book report too. BetMGM got integrated, had their odds and betting options integrated into the golf broadcast.
I did. I saw some screenshots of that. That was pretty interesting. It wasn't crazy, not so in your face kind of stuff, but it was in the bottom chyron.
It was noticeable.
It was noticeable, but it wasn't like it didn't destroy your viewership of the golf.
Exactly.
It was tastefully placed.
Right. For the Turner Sports deal, you're probably going to see this now for Major League Baseball, NCAA men's basketball tournaments.
Okay.
And also, you got to realize with Bleacher Report has a studio in Caesars Palace in Las Vegas.
That's right, yeah.
So you're going to start probably seeing some content there. Under the entire agreement, DraftKings will provide sports betting information, daily fantasy sports content across both the Turner Sports telecast as well as the Bleacher Report digital channels, including the Bleacher Report app.
You know that you mentioned the NCAA men's basketball tournament. You know that. Certainly, you didn't have the betting you had this year because of COVID, but here in New Jersey, we have this weird rule where we can't bet on colleges and universities located in the state. And everyone was asking, gee, what if Princeton does well? What if Seton Hall does well? What if Rutgers does well? I mean, are we barred from betting any of those games? So I wonder if something in New Jersey is going to lead to a change in the rules here.
Well, actually, there is something that's going on with New Jersey that is going to lead to a change in the rules, because now New Jersey has, in 2023, is going to have one of the NCAA regional tournaments.
All right.
And under the rule, technically, you can't bet on a lot of those games.
Well, if you're in New Jersey, you can't bet on games involving a New Jersey
or
college
tournaments
or university.
Or that tournaments be in New Jersey.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
That's what the law is.
I thought it was the individual games. But you're telling me it's the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is a movement now. One of the senators up in North Jersey is going to be introducing legislation to try and get that changed.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of money being left on the table.
Yeah,
here.
very interesting. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
But again, going back to the DraftKings Turner deal, you're going to be seeing custom content segments, DraftKings betting odds on screen. You're going to see Bleacher Report original content mixed in with DraftKings stats for both fantasy and sports betting.
Okay.
Editorial. You're going to see actual written content too. That's going to be sponsored by DraftKings on Bleacher Report sites, also Turner blogs, all that stuff. So it's going to be one of those things where you're going to see FanDuel for NBA, but everything else that Turner has their hands on, you're going to see DraftKings.
Okay.
It'll be fun to see exactly how this plays out, because I know they're also trying to expand the FanDuel deal they have as well in terms of the broadcast as well as content for NBA, because they also did the digital app too. They actually had a couple digital broadcasts with FanDuel. Turner.
Okay.
Turner had digital broadcast with sports betting content with FanDuel for the NBA Finals. Not the Finals, the Conference Finals, the Western Conference. They experimented with that.
Exit 2.
Well, everyone seems to be getting into the Esports Act all of a sudden.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you heard our, the interview last week with the esports author, The Book of Esports by, who was it? What was his name?
William Collis.
William Collis, yeah, okay. I don't have my notes in front of me from last week.
Well,
why would I, by the way?
I don't know. Esports are continuing to grow, and we now have Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster launching his own gaming company.
Ooh, wow.
He calls it a gaming organization.
A gaming organization.
Because it's not going to be just gaming, it's going to be gaming, entertainment, and lifestyle.
Nice. Okay.
It's going to be called Team Diverge, Diverge.
Team Diverge. Okay.
And they are claiming they are the world's first athlete-led gaming, entertainment, and lifestyle company.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that
may well be.
I was trying to think of another athlete. I know that some owners of some professional teams are involved with esports, but I wasn't sure if a player was actually had ownership stock or whatever in a gaming company. But I guess he is the first one.
Well, he is forming it with his current manager. He also big in esports. And what they're going to be doing, they've already signed several rising content creators for esports, as well as lifestyle blogs and everything else. So basically, they're looking at young content creators to help grow this business.
So when you say content creators, are you talking about writers for blogs? Are you talking about
everything's a content creator
discussing
now.
them on TV and radio?
I think the word they want to use is influencers.
Okay. So not just programmers. They're not looking for game programmers or anything like
that.
No,
they're not creating games.
They're not. Okay, so they're everything around the game. They're talking about writers and announcers and things like that, right?
Right, exactly. And from what I understand, he has been in esports. Juju Smith-Schuster has been involved in esports from years ago. He was an honorary member of the Faze clan, which is one of the big esports organizations out there.
Really? Okay.
Yep. He also has been...
Faze clan.
Faze, F-A-Z-E.
Okay.
He's been creating content and having his own merchandise with that gaming organization while he was living in Los Angeles before he actually made the move out to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
He still has a place out there. He also has a partnership with HyperX, which is another esports organization. They make gaming products, headsets, keyboards, hard drives, the accessories to the gamers. And he just earlier this year had launched a HyperX co-branded Juju Smith-Schuster headset.
Ooh, all right.
So he's very familiar with the esports industry. He has a Twitch channel that has over 180,000 followers
Everyone
already.
has a Twitch channel. If you're involved in esports and if you don't have a Twitch channel, you're missing out on a big swath of the audience here.
Well, if you go to Team Diverge's website,
all right, I will.
They are the Pittsburgh Steelers colors.
All right,
about black and gold.
You know, everything out in Western Pennsylvania is black and gold. I mean, all their sports teams are black and gold. There's a whole bunch of bars. You know, we went to
black and gold.
Yeah, what was that in Sharon, Pennsylvania? We went to a bar out there, Billy's Black and Gold.
Black and Gold.
Yeah, no, everything's black and gold. If you own a bar and you play this Pittsburgh Steelers or any other sports team in the Pittsburgh area, I guess the rule is, I'm joking, there's no rule, but the marketing plan is put your name in front of the words black and gold. Like if I had a thing, I'd be Davies Black and Gold Bar. You know, that's what everyone does out there.
Yeah, even the Pirates are black and gold too.
Every sports team is black and gold.
But I went to their Twitter handle when they made the announcement. I took a look at it. They had the Twitter handle at the end of last year.
Now that's Team Diverge.
That's Diverge.
Twitter handle. Okay.
And you know the initials, TD, touchdown.
All right. Okay.
And it's to carry on the football theme. So that was intentional to call it Team Diverge, TD, touchdown.
Never even thought of that. I'm glad you told me because I wasn't even thinking in that direction.
And their plans are they're going to be launching their own gaming house in the spring of 2021, which is an actual house people live in. The gamers live together, just like the clans.
It's like a commune. What? Just like the what?
The clans, Faze clan.
Faze clan. They have a structure.
House. They have a house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Most of these esports organizations have a house where they all live for a while together.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that.
And
very interesting.
They'll have everybody there during the NFL offseason since he's going to be playing.
Okay, wait. I'm fascinated by this housing thing. I mean, do they have Twitch channels where all the rooms are hooked up to Twitch and you can watch them play games in every room kind of thing?
It's not a Big Brother.
It's not a Big Brother thing?
It's not a Big Brother.
And why doesn't Twitch have a show like that? It could be an
probably
esports version of Big Brother.
Well, now that they're listening to this, they probably will.
Okay, watch. Next week they're going to have a Big Brother type esports show.
But no, it's a place where all the gamers live and interact and they hang out together and They each have their own Twitch channels, and they play.
Okay.
You know?
Wow. All right.
And in addition to the house, they're also going to be launching their own streetwear-inspired apparel line with the Team Diverge colors and logo and the TD, and he's going to be wearing, Smith Schuster's going to be wearing the stuff too. So
great. All right.
You know, he's getting all in on this, and it's actually nice to see. It's going to be a crossover between probably the NFL and some esports stuff too soon.
Exit 3.
Okay, now we talked about this a little bit in the first exit. Vegas is going to start having some NCAA tournaments that are going to be broadcast on Turner, and that's where the DraftKings things comes in. But Vegas is now allowed to have NCAA tournaments because of a change in the rules.
Okay.
The NCAA changed the policy that prevented states with sports betting from hosting championships.
Well, they can't do that anymore because more and more states are allowing sports betting, and
you're cutting out at least half the country now.
That's
the problem.
That's a lot of the country that weren't going to be hosting NCAA tournaments, and they had to change the rule.
Exactly,
absolutely, they had to change the rule.
And the NCAA announced that one of the 2023 NCAA tournament men's regional championships will be held in Vegas.
Great.
That's the first time Vegas will be hosting an NCAA championship since 1991, when they had a women's basketball regional held at the Thomas and Mack Center back in 91, like I said.
Okay.
So, but they got a whole slew of them. They had a whole list of them starting in 2023 all the way to 2026. They're getting a whole bunch of, but only one basketball tournament.
Oh, wait, what are the tournaments you're talking about?
They're going to have 11 events throughout 2023, beginning in 2023 through 2026.
All right.
2023 is going to have a Division I regional tournament there in Vegas.
That's basketball.
That's basketball.
Okay.
Everything else is mostly golf and soccer, men's and women's golf and soccer.
Oh, okay.
All Division I and II, but here's the list. Las Vegas and University of Nevada, Las Vegas will host the 2023 NCAA Division I men's basketball regional at T-Mobile Arena.
All right.
The 2023 NCAA Division I men's golf regional at Bears Best Las Vegas. 2023 National Collegiate Women's Bowling Championship at South Point.
Wow. All right.
So, again, if sports betting's spreading around, NCAA had to roll with it and change the policy. So Vegas is going to start getting more and more of these tournaments.
Great.
The rest of the remaining events after 2023 are Division I, II, and III golf and soccer championships for both the men and women of the NCAA schools.
Great.
And again, that leads to the open question now: when Turner is broadcasting the NCAA tournament in 2023, since they have the rights to broadcast it, are we going to start seeing DraftKings betting odds for these games?
I would guess.
Will the NCAA allow that?
By 2023, I think they're making so many of these deals with this many sportsbook operators. I mean, we had a story a couple of weeks ago. The Colorado University did a deal with a sportsbook operator. I mean, you're going to see more and more deals like that, and I don't think the NCAA can even bar sportsbook operators becoming involved in, I don't know, the marketing and the odds and the lines. So you're gonna see a lot of that.
The NCAA didn't even stop Colorado from becoming an affiliate marketer.
Okay,
so
there you go.
It's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens with this.
Hey, NCAA
tournament
has to change with the times.
Exit 4.
And last but not least, we're going to do some sports tech.
All right. Sports tech.
I always like these little developments in engineering. Bose, the technology company, they do all the speakers and the radios.
So I'm assuming this is a speaker-oriented type of
they have
kind
introduced
of a product that you're going to be talking about?
They have introduced the new Bose Frames Tempo.
Frames Tempo. What the hell does that mean?
They are sport Bluetooth sunglasses.
Okay, now we're doing Bluetooth sunglasses now. Okay.
The
hell does that mean?
In the I guess where you have the sunglasses and then the arms going back.
That's what they're called, arms?
I don't know what they're called. I'm losing my my train of thought. The frames.
The frames. Okay.
Yes. They are going to have two specially designed Bose speakers in the actual frames.
Okay. Does it go directly into your ear? Because that could be annoying to people around you.
It's up by the frames.
Okay, so
the arms are going to be the stems. That's the better way to phrase it. The stems coming. They're going.
So not the frames, the things that go behind your ears. I mean, are they going to go in your ears? The speakers?
They're outside speakers.
So people next to you are going to hear what you're listening to.
I believe you can do that if you put them that loud.
Okay,
but these are going to be $250 a pair.
Oh,
they're going to have two specially designed Bose speakers, a lightweight aerodynamic nylon frame, soft silicone nose pads, and you got 3 different kinds of nose pads in the box that you can attach to these frames.
Okay.
Mirrored black polarized lenses.
Well, they're sunglasses, so that's a good thing.
And advanced dual microphones for any phone calls.
So you can actually...
These are actual Bluetooth
so you can actually answer your phone with these sunglasses.
Exactly.
My thing about sunglasses, I think I break about 5 or 6 pair a year. I'd be terrified to either lose these sunglasses or break them. I'd be sitting down on them in my car when I get in.
They are sweat, weather, scratch, and shatter resistant.
Yeah, I know, but you drop them and you lose them and you step on them and or something like that.
8 hours of battery life too.
That's pretty good.
USB-C charging cable is going to be included with it, and you're going to be able to have different types of lenses with this. They have the standard mirrored black polarized lenses, but you can interchange them with other types of lenses depending on what you're using them for, where you're racing or riding or running.
You know what? I like that feature in a sunglasses. I don't know any other brand that has that kind of thing. It would be great that you have the frames and then you can adjust and put in the lenses that you want. That's a great idea.
You can get road
orange.
That's
a great idea without even being a Bluetooth.
Here, you can get road orange for when you're running or cycling on the roads,
sure.
The asphalt. Like the tack glasses, you see the orange things?
I see them, yeah.
Trail blue, which are used for medium to low light, designed for shaded trails, running and mountain biking, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And twilight yellow, which are low light lenses, ideal for evening or early morning training. They also brighten trails and enhance visibility in the dark or in a foggy environment.
Oh, great.
Now, unfortunately, besides the $250 to buy the actual Bose frames, you also have to spend $39.95 for each one of those lenses to actually use them in different environments.
Yeah, I like that feature. I
don't like having they should actually include one of those things for free.
Yeah, I would guess.
Especially if you're paying $250.
Yeah. And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
And stick around because later on we're going to have our NFL pick segment and our Turnpike Sports Book Report where we talk about what's going on in the sports books across the country. But coming up right after this, hey, Tennessee's getting sports betting, and it's a really interesting market. And I'm going to have the co-founder and CEO of, I think, what's going to be one of Tennessee's best sports books, Tina Hodges of Tennessee Action 24/7. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Attention Medicare recipients and anyone turning 65. Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to, including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available and it's a free call to enroll. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare benefits line now. It's easy. Call 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or zero copays for big out-of-pocket savings. Not all Medicare Advantage plans are alike. The new plans have more benefits for many people. Call 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797.
Turnpike Sports is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. Sports betting has become very popular with more and more states allowing it in their borders. One of the newest and most exciting markets out there is Tennessee, and they're doing sports betting in a very unique way. There's a great new sports book for the people of Tennessee called Tennessee Action 24/7. And to tell us all about this incredible book, we have the co-founder and CEO of Tennessee Action 24/7, Tina Hodges, on the line. Tina, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Good morning, Dave. It's so good to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you. And I'm so glad you're here to talk about Tennessee because it's such a very unique sports betting market. I mean, I'm here in New Jersey, and we're one of those states where sports books, in order to operate in the state, have to partner with a land-based entity, usually a casino. But Tennessee isn't like that. For people who don't know, walk us through the sports betting scene in Tennessee.
Yeah, so we currently do not have any land-based casinos and never have in Tennessee. Our closest, we've got some around the borders. We've got some in Mississippi, but we've never had land-based casinos or horse tracks or dog tracks, anything like that in Tennessee. And so when our state legislature started working on this, our governor made it very clear that he did not want in-person betting parlors or casinos. And so from the beginning, I think that our legislature was set on having online only.
That's very interesting. And what I also found interesting is that you're actually the founder of Tennessee Action 24/7. Tell us about your background and what led you to create Tennessee Action 24/7.
You know, it's funny. I'm actually a nurse. And
okay.
My dean told us on the first day of graduate school when I was getting my master's in nursing, nursing can take you anywhere. And it did. It took me to the emergency room for several years. Then it took me to grow a consumer lending company for 25 years here in the state of Tennessee. And I just love business. I love business opportunities. I think that the sports gambling, people in Tennessee want a homegrown company to root for. And so I think it's going to be a fun, exciting venture.
Tell us about the licensing process in Tennessee. I mean, was it very were the authorities in Tennessee easy to work with? I mean, I've talked to other sports book operators in other states, and they said some states the licensing process is very difficult. The fees are expensive. The taxes are higher. What was the licensing process like in Tennessee?
Well, as I said a minute ago, my history is in consumer lending. I have about 300 licenses right now with the state of Tennessee, wow. The Department of Financial Institutions. And this gaming license, it was a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was very extensive background on me and the other company leadership. So it was a lot. But, you know, once we turned all the paperwork in, we had to take paper copies. So we had to take boxes and dollies down there with our mask on and deliver those in person. But once we got everything done, they have been so pleasant to work with. It's a small staff, and we've gotten to know the people, and we talk 2 or 3 times a week. It's just, they've really been great. They are processing a lot of stuff right now. And, I think they're doing a first-rate job.
What was your goal in creating Tennessee Action 24/7? I mean, how does your sports book differ from all the other sports books out there?
Well, the company that we thought we would be right now was pre-coronavirus, right?
Sure. Yep.
Our plan still, we will do this, it just is going to be a little delayed, is to really be out in our communities, be out having tailgates, having fun parties, meeting players at their alumni event, every alumni association in the country has meetings in their own state. Be out meeting people, having fun, being involved in the communities. That's the thing that we really think is going to be different between us and other international players that will come into our state. We really want to get to know our players and have fun. And I think that's really going to be different. It was delayed, of course. The whole
Sure.
licensing process was delayed, right? We probably would have been licensed earlier in the year, before football season, if coronavirus hadn't come. But, it's going to be delayed, but we're going to get there. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the other sports books coming into the state. I mean, how challenging will it be competing with the other sports books? And do you think the people of Tennessee will gravitate toward Tennessee Action 24/7?
I do. I think that people want to buy local, as they say, especially in Tennessee. We've been out in the community even just in the past 30 or 60 days, and that's what we're hearing from people. We were just at a charity golf tournament on Monday, and people were coming up to us. We were a whole sponsor, and they said, "This is awesome. I'm so glad there's a local sports book. I'm definitely going to sign up with you guys. Give me your information right now." And, they would rather give their business to a local person.
Talk to me about your website. I mean, I was on your website, and it looks like it's very easy to use, and I think that's a great feature that you guys have. I've been to other sport book websites, and what they're doing is throwing numbers at me, and some is very confusing, but not yours. It looks very user-friendly. When someone goes to Tennessee Action 24/7, walk us through what they're going to see when they go to your website.
Yeah, I think one of the advantages we have is that we're not trying to walk the line between fantasy some places, real live in some places. Yeah. What state are you in? I want to show you every bet possible because I really don't know where you are or what you like right now. We are a Tennessee-based sports book, and people are going to log in and be able to place their bets very easily. There's not a lot of clutter. That's one thing I've learned in consumer lending. People want clear, concise, what do I do and how do I do it? And so we just want to make it easy for folks, especially the folks that have never placed a bet before. It shouldn't be confusing.
That's a great point because, like I said, I've been to other sport book websites, and, I end up making a wrong bet because I didn't know what I was looking at, and the numbers come at me like so fast. But it's so great that you are really making it user-friendly. Mm-hmm.
I think that in Tennessee, like I said, we've been out in the community, especially in the past 60 days, and we're hearing from people. One, I didn't know that sports gambling was legal in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Two, I didn't know there was going to be a local bookie for me to use. And so people are very excited that it's legal. And they say, I've never even gambled before, but this sounds fun. I'll log in. And so people are going to be doing it for the first time. And we just want to make sure that it's easy for them to use, easy to understand.
What about an app? Are you going to have an app, and where can people go and download an app? And will it be available in both Android and Apple? And will they be available at the same time?
We have, obviously, those are private platforms. You sit in line waiting to get approved to be available in the App Store and things like that. It will be on our website to download. Those are the sorts of things that, because we're not live yet in the state,
sure,
we're not allowed to put those up yet on our website. We're waiting for for the board to tell us when we can do what they call more like launch activities. So we can't put those things up yet. But yeah, you'll be able to go to action247.com, download the app from there, and eventually I'm sure that it will be in the app stores.
When you go live, what sports will you be offering? Will it be all the sports all at once, or will there be something special for viewers of the website? What sports are you going to be offering right away?
Yeah, wouldn't we like to know what sports are going to be playing then? But we will offer, what your popular sports right now. We're not going to be focusing on Chinese table tennis right here at the launch. but, we will be offering the sports that are live in the U.S. and that people at Tennessee bettors are going to be interested in at that time. And then eventually, we'll offer stuff for people that are just awake at 3 a.m., working the night shift, that just want to have something to do.
Now, where do you get your odds? I mean, do you work with other organizations to come up with your odds and your lines?
We do. We are partnering with Sport Radar.
Oh, they're great.
And so they're going to, they are great. They're super professional in the market. And so we've had really good luck getting set up with them. And so they're going to do our managed trading right now. And it's just like, when I started the consumer lending company, I didn't have my own models. I didn't have my whole own team of risk analysts. And 20 years later, I do. And so I'm sure it's something that we'll grow into, right? We'll grow into having our own team. We'll be splitting some of those services. But right now, we're using Sport Radar for most of those.
You mentioned it before. One of the things about sports betting is that it's very new to a lot of people. And one of the challenges of opening a sports book in a new market is answering people's questions and helping them understand the act of sports betting. What is Tennessee Action 24/7 doing for people who have questions regarding your sports book and sports betting in general?
Yeah, so we are going to have, some general FAQs and things like that on our website, but we're also producing some short videos that are really educational on what is a money line, what is a parlay, what is, all these sorts of things, just little small 30-second clips on what is that. We also have a fabulous call center here that's getting up and running that will launch. I mean, they're open now, but nobody's really calling us. But it will be available for everybody to call us. So we're right here in Tennessee. So I think it'll be welcome for people to call and actually talk to somebody who's in Tennessee.
So like you said, you're from Tennessee, and you know what people from Tennessee want and what sports they want to bet on. What do you think will be the most popular sport in Tennessee for people to bet on?
Well, the Titans, the Grizzlies, Tennessee Vols. But we also have tons of Alabama folks that move up here for work, whatever. Tons of Alabama fans. I mean, you drive around, every other car has a Tennessee tag or an Alabama fan. So we'll have lots of people betting on their alumni schools. And I guess I've got the election on my mind here. And so they'll be betting on their schools as well.
You brought up something very interesting. I mean, are there any special rules and regulations with regard to sports betting in Tennessee that, maybe other states might not have? For example, I'm here in New Jersey, and for some weird reason, we're not allowed to place bets on colleges and universities located within our state. I mean, it's a very strange rule. I don't know why it exists. But is there any special rule like that for Tennessee sports bettors that they should know of?
No, not per se. Not like that. I mean, we can't place bets on individual players.
Oh, okay.
Like the prop bets, like I bet that so-and-so will run this many yards. We can't place those types of bets. And we can't do horse racing. That's a specific carve-out, although we don't have any right now. So there are some little odd things like that, but I don't think it's really going to cause a damper in anyone. I think everybody will have plenty of things that they'll enjoy.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, you're in Tennessee. And what kind of plans do you have, like going out in your community? You mentioned going out to tailgates when everything is safe. What do you have planned for functions and parties and promotions, and anything specific you can tell us about now?
Yeah, well, we have been having Titans watch parties the past few weeks, and it's great. We've been going to different locations here in Middle Tennessee. We sponsored a wrestling event a couple of weeks ago in Jackson, and that was super fun to get out and just meet all those wrestling fans. Yes, it was very fun. It was Jerry the King Lawler's 50th anniversary.
Wow.
So all the classic old wrestlers were there. It was great just to get out and meet people and tell them who we are. Clearly you can't bet on wrestling, but it was just a great mix of Tennesseans to get out and meet people and tell people who we were. So that was fun. Like I said, we did the charity golf tournament Monday. I mean, just getting out in the community. People just want to see that you're involved in your community.
Now, I notice right now Tennessee Action 24/7 has a free-to-play site as well. Talk to me about that. I know for the sports betting side of it, you have to be within the state borders. Do you have to be within the borders for the free-to-play site as well?
No, you don't. You don't have to be within the state. I think most people are 21 because they're wanting to go ahead and register for live betting. But you can be in any state to do the free-to-play. And we've had a lot of fun with that. We have done some special free-to-plays, like when we've gone to a Titans event, done a special free-to-play game at that event. and people get to result the winner at the end and get T-shirts and hats and things like that. So it's been really fun.
Can people start signing up now, or do they have to wait for a certain date before they can sign up at TennesseeAction247.com?
Yeah, people can register now.
Okay.
We can't take deposits, obviously.
Sure.
But you can register and go ahead and give us your information, and that'll just make your day one that much faster. And so I encourage people to do that at action247.com. Go ahead and log in and give us your basic information so that you'll be a step ahead of everyone else when we go live.
Where do you see Tennessee Action 24/7 going in the future? I mean, do you see retail sports books popping up, or do you think Tennessee Action 24/7 will think about doing business in other states? Where do you see Tennessee Action 24/7 in a year or two from now?
You know, I operated for 20 years in the state of Tennessee before I expanded to 14 other states. So I know how to do single state, how to dominate a single state, and I know how to expand to other states.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll just be a matter of, does our governor or legislature ever change their mind on the in-person element? That would definitely be of interest, as I've been running a chain of 100 retail facilities in the state. So retail is something I'm really good at. But we'll just see. We'll see where the legislature takes us. I definitely want to focus on Tennessee. We're not just launching Tennessee and moving on. We are going to be an excellent provider in Tennessee, and then we'll see where it takes us.
Tina, we're running out of time, but can you tell people once again how to sign up with Tennessee Action 24/7, if you have any social media addresses you'd like people to know about, and if there's any specials or promotions for people who sign up at Tennessee Action 24/7?
Yes. You can sign up. I was trying to think. I don't want to reel off all of the social media things because it's just, I'll get tongue-tied. But yes, please go to action247.com. And if you scroll to the bottom, there's a place to register. And we will contact you as soon as you can complete that and make a deposit. That's action247.com. You got action.
Tina Hodges, CEO and co-founder of Tennessee Action 24/7. Thanks for coming on and telling us all about your sports book. Tennessee's a great state. I'm glad they got a great sports book to call their own. Please come back on and keep us updated on what's going on with Tennessee Action 24/7.
I will. Thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And 6 extra special bonus items that are sure to rev your engine, pique your curiosity, and even blow you away. Plus, free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. Go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus the 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. That's BABE16, because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-231-9279. That's 800-231-9279. 800-231-9279.
And the Turnpike Sports Pro Football Pick segment is brought to you by William Hill in New Jersey. Football is back, and William Hill is celebrating the 2020 season with a great new welcome offer in New Jersey. Sign up with William Hill Online Sportsbook in New Jersey using our promo code PIKE500 to receive a free bet up to $500 with your first deposit of $50 or more. That's promo code PIKE500 for a free bet up to $500 with your first deposit of $50 or more at William Hill in New Jersey. Must be at least 21 years or older and in New Jersey. Terms and conditions apply. New customers only. Problem gambler? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Okay, we're in the Pro Pick segment, and as always, we're going to be choosing 3 teams. It's against the spread or the over-under. As always, we're going to be putting these up on the Turnpike Sports blog. Just head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, put them up on the and click on the blog button. They'll be up on the blog after the show is published, about an hour or so afterwards. Feel free to comment on them. At Turnpike Sports is our social media handles for Twitter and Facebook. At Turnpike Sports Radio is Instagram. Info at turnpikesportsradio.com is the email address for the show. And you can also leave your comments on the blog for us as well. Last week, I went 1-2. You went 2-1.
Yep.
You've caught up with me after a couple of weeks of me having a little bit of a lead. We're both 10-8 on the season.
10-8 in the season. Okay.
Going into week 7.
I can't believe it's week 7 already.
I know it's zipping right by, and again, it's a lot of these games have been changed around because of COVID. Some of them, postponed, that sort of stuff. So
yeah, hopefully
we're rolling with it as much as the league is.
I hope the games I pick actually come off. So who knows?
Well, I started last week, so why don't you go ahead and start this week?
All right, my first game is the Green Bay Packers, who are favored by 3.5 points, versus the Houston Texans with an over/under of 56.5 points. Aaron Rodgers had an awful game last week against Tampa Bay. I mean, he threw a couple interceptions, 1 pick six, and I think this is going to be a bounce-back game for Green Bay, and especially for Aaron Rodgers. I think the Texans are what the Packers ordered if they're getting back in the swing of things, because the Texans' defense has been terrible. In 5 of their last 6 games, the Texans' defense has given up at least 28 points, and I think that's what's going to happen this week. So I'm taking the Green Bay Packers and laying the points.
Well, I went with this game as well. The Texans were the first team to fire their head coach, and it really hasn't made a difference. They're not playing well.
Yeah.
And offensively, defensively, they really aren't doing anything too well. And Green Bay lost, as you mentioned, to Tampa Bay last week. 38-10. It was really, really bad. Of the last 3 matchups between these two, the Packers have won 2. And the under is 2-1 in the last 3 matchups as well.
Okay.
Green Bay's 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games after a loss, and 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games after scoring less than 15 points.
I got to tell you, I didn't know those stats, and I'm loving my pick even more now.
The Texans, you listen to this one. The Texans are 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. So I went with the Packers and the points.
Okay, good. So we got that one together, huh? All right. My next game is the Battle of Ohio. I'm going Cleveland Browns, who are favored by 3, versus the Cincinnati Bengals with an over-under of 51. I've been very impressed with Joe Burrow, especially jumping out early against a very good defense of the Indianapolis Colts. The problem was the Bengals defense couldn't stop that talented offense, and I think that's what we're going to have this week. Listen to the defenses of both these teams. The Cleveland defense is allowing an average of 31.2 points per game, and the Cincinnati Bengals defense is allowing 26.2 points per game. So guess what? I'm going the over. Over 51 in this game. I think.
Okay, we did it again.
You really?
Yep.
Oh boy. Did you do the over?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Bengals just look like the better team right now. This was my reasoning. It's very simple. Follow this line of logic. The over is 6-0 in the Browns' last 6 games as a favorite. The over is 4-0 in the Bengals' last 4 games versus a team with a winning record. And the over is 5-0-1 in the last 6 meetings between the two. So I went with the over. There's no much more analysis than following that trend.
Yeah. It looks like no one's going to be making ground on the other guy this week, you know. So, okay, my last game is my turn?
Yep.
All right. I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers versus the New England Patriots, who are favored by 2.5 points with an over-under of 45.5. I looked at the line and I couldn't believe that the Patriots were favored. I mean, you get that 3-point bump from the sports books because you're a home team, But, I am shocked. And I'd be very interested to see if this line moves during the week. But right now, the Patriots are favored by 2.5. Look, the Patriots just do not have a passing game. They were kind of in that game against Denver Broncos because Denver threw 2 costly interceptions very late in the game. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be starting for San Francisco, and wouldn't he love to beat the Patriots, who traded him away in Foxborough. So I think that's motivation enough. I'm going with the underdog San Francisco 49ers, but I think the 49ers are going to win this game. So San Francisco.
Well,
please don't tell me you took this game too.
I thought about it. I did not go with this game.
I guess the Patriots are only favored because they're the home team.
And it's not that big of a spread, so it's really not much of a...
Yeah.
It's not really much of a home favorite.
I'm just shocked that they're favored.
Their first time they're
favored now. So
first
who
time
knows?
They're having a losing record in a couple decades here. So it'll be fun to watch.
Was
that
it
game.
2002?
2002.
I think 2002.
This far into the season.
Yeah.
I went with the Steelers, favored by 1.5 against the Tennessee Titans.
I looked at this game
with an over/under of 52. This is a matchup between the AFC's 2 unbeaten teams. They're the only 2 guys standing right now unbeaten.
I really think this is the game of the weekend. I think this is 2 fantastic teams playing each other.
I think if the league was able to flex this to a primetime game, they would.
Yeah.
But they're not. So the Steelers are 5-0 for the first time since 1978. That's when they won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So everyone's pointing to that little trend there. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. They've been playing very good based upon their defense and the running game. They've actually played almost mistake-free football for the last couple of games here. They've only turned the ball over once in their last 4. So they're protecting the ball. They're running with it well. And their defense is playing very well. Tennessee is just running over people. And I think after last week's game against the Texans, where they actually had to come back and win in overtime, I really think, I'm not too sold on the 5-0 and the Titans just yet. Maybe if they get this one, but right now the Steelers are 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 games following a straight-up win of more than 14 points, which they did against the Browns. They won 38-10. And they're 4-0-1 against the spread in their last 5 games after scoring more than 30 points in their previous games. So I think even though these 2 teams are probably the best in the AFC right now, they're very tough to against each other. I think this is going to be a close game. It's only a 1.5-point spread. I went with the Steelers and the points.
Yeah, no, it could go either way. I would hate to bet against either of these teams because they're doing so well this year. So it should be
I thought about the over-under for a second.
Really, it's pretty high, though, isn't it?
52.
Oh, okay.
But both of them
I thought it was like 56 or something like that.
Both of them have been doing pretty well with the over. So, but I just think this is going to come down to a field goal, if not a 2-point win or something. I just think the Steelers are the better team right now than the Titans, especially after the Titans playing the Texans last week. Just barely got out of there with that win.
Yep.
So let's recap.
All right, for me, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers and laying the points over the Houston Texans. I'm going with the over in the Cleveland Browns-Cincinnati Bengals game, the over 51. And I'm going with the underdog San Francisco 49ers against the 2.5-point favorite New England Patriots in Foxborough.
All right, and I did also the Packers at 3.5 favorite, the over 51 in the Browns-Bengals game, and I went with the Steelers laying the points against the Titans in probably the best game of the weekend that's going to be coming up. So those are our picks. They're going to be up on the Turnpike Sports blog. Head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button. These will be up about an hour or so after the show publishes. Feel free to comment on the blog. Feel free to email us with your thoughts, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Social media at Turnpike Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Turnpike Sports Radio on Instagram.
Coming up, we're going to have the Turnpike Sports Book Report right after this, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Tax Solutions Now is a complimentary referral service that connects callers to companies that provide tax services. Money matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right, money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industry. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377.
Attention Medicare recipients and anyone turning 65. Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to, including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available and it's a free call to enroll. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare benefits line now. It's easy. Call 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or zero copays for big out-of-pocket savings. Not all Medicare Advantage plans are alike. The new plans have more benefits for many people. Call 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797. 800-217-1797.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sports book. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E, and you get a risk-free bet up to $300 and $20 bonus dollars at BorgataCasino.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Well, this week... we have more records being set in the sports betting world.
Crazy numbers. Didn't I say September was going to be an incredible month for the sports books? And it has been.
It was for especially two of the states.
Yes.
And we're going to start with New Jersey, who has set another national record for handle. Their September 2020 handle was $749 million. Now, last month in August, they had just set the national record with $668 million. So they blew right by that.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't even close. Wow, that was that wasn't even like, oh, they beat it by a couple million. No, my God. That was incredible.
Well, handle was up and revenue was down.
Well, hey.
$13.5 million in revenue, down 23.5%.
There's some smart bettors in New Jersey.
And I've been taking notice of this number, especially now with Tennessee launching. Mm-hmm. Tennessee requires a 10% hold. New Jersey sportsbooks had a hold of 6%, a little over 6%. And I have to admit, I normally don't care for a lot of the stuff Darren Rovell tweets out, but he did this.
Really? I like Darren. He's good.
I mean, there's a lot of excess stuff he puts out there that really
you got to be entertaining,
Yeah, but he actually figured this out. $25 million a day was bet on sports every day in September in New Jersey.
That's incredible.
That's an amazing number.
Absolutely incredible. Well, look, we had the finals, we had NBA, we have the baseball going on now, we have football, and so,
Also had the NBA finals.
That's what I just said, NBA finals,
Well, I'm actually reading my notes here.
Okay.
But anyway.
I'm not listening to you, I'm just reading my notes.
Listen to these numbers. Listen to these numbers here. April's handle in New Jersey was $55 million.
April, you're talking about. All right.
April of this year.
You're doing this
pandemic.
by comparison. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
May was $118 million.
All right.
June, $165 million. And July was $315 million. Then we had that blast in August of $668 million. We doubled. Our state doubled that. So it's actually really nice to see that.
Yeah.
National record. That's 2 months in a row they set a national record.
All right.
And Pennsylvania has come in with their own state record for the month of September, but it's also one of their highest months, too. $462 million in handle.
You know what? And that's going to be growing because I know there's going to be more sportsbook operators operating in the state. So that should really, really jump up in the next couple of months.
Well, that was more than double that of September of last year. They had a handle of $194 million in September of 2019. They had 462, just under $463 million for the month of September. Total revenue brought in was $18.3 million and a hold of 3.9%. For the sports books.
Okay.
The taxable revenue, and I actually noticed this because they're now making it really nice and apparent on some of these statistics, especially the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board. The taxable revenue is a different number than the overall revenue. The taxable revenue is you take the total revenue and you remove all the promo credits.
Okay.
So what they are taxed on was only $6.2 million.
All right. Okay.
That was 58% lower than September of last year. So all the revenues are going down. Mm-hmm. More people are winning, I think, is what they're saying. And that's a better way to say it. More people are winning.
Yeah. Well,
or they're becoming better bettors.
They're becoming smarter. You know, I mean, look, there's a ton of podcasts. We're talking on a podcast right now. There's a ton of podcasts. There's a ton of radio shows, television shows in this area. So, you know, it's just, you're getting a lot of advice, you're getting a lot of stats, you're getting a lot of information, and that's key to being a, you know, I don't want to say good bettor, but you know what, a responsible bettor. You do your homework and you put down what you think is going to happen with the information that people give you around this area. So that's so important.
Well, it's a matter of education.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know. You wonder why you have all these shows. You know, living in Central Jersey, we have TV from New York, and we also have TV from Pennsylvania. So we have 2 ABCs and 2 CBSs and all the sports channels. Don't forget
MSG, SNY.
And yes, we have Comcast Philadelphia, and they all have betting-oriented shows, and you know, and they give you the information, and they talk about what you can expect, and they say what you should be looking for. So, you know, you talk about distant learning. This is it. You know, if you want to be a good bettor, they're giving you the tools to do this in this area. So hopefully, betting programming throughout the country, it's only going to help consumers if you get this information out to people.
Yep.
They're going to do well in sports betting, and they're going to use the sports operators' products.
The hard part is, even though there's all this information out there, the hard part really is figuring out the information you need. You know, as an individual, you need to make the right bet. And again, also shopping. You know, go to different sports books, get the better prices. Too.
Absolutely.
That's also a skill right there, finding the better prices.
I never knew. You know, that was, you place a bet and you think it's all done. But, you know, if there's more sports books in the area, it's better for the consumer. You know, you look around. They all don't have the same lines and odds and things like that. So it allows the consumer to look around when you have more choices in a state.
And before we move on from Pennsylvania, one other little news and note there that came out, the new retail sports book at Harris, Philadelphia in Chester County has opened under William Hill's control. It's a William Hill sports book. Harris, Philly will still maintain it, but it's going to be using William Hill as the operating data and the people there. It's going to be part of the Caesars Entertainment deal when they bought William Hill.
You know, I really like that casino there. It used to be called Harris Chester, but they thought marketing-wise it'd be better if it was Harris Philadelphia. So
no one knew what Chester was.
Yeah, well, it's actually in Chester. It's but, you know, they call it Harris Philadelphia. And I always say that was the greatest parking situation that they had. I parked my car, I walked into the door, and right in front of me was the WSOP branded poker room. And it was great. I mean, they just...
and it's actually a nice poker room,
It's
too.
a great poker room. And
it's a good-sized one, too.
You walk from your car, and it's about 20 feet, and you walk through the door.
Get smacked right in the face.
And you're on the gaming floor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. And so, Harris, Philadelphia, check it out if you're in the area.
This is also an interesting statement I saw in the release. Consumers in the state also have the option to bet on mobile via the Caesars Casino and Sportsbook by Harris Philly application. So I guess there's an in-person registration requirement there. I don't know if that actually really means what I'm saying.
I have
no
idea what that means.
But that was an interesting statement that they have there. I mean, I guess it's available to them.
Okay.
Going down the Turnpike a little bit, we have Washington, D.C. William Hill reported their September numbers. This is not the entire district because Gambit did not report their numbers yet.
All right.
William Hill reported that at the temporary sports book at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., more than 113,000 bets were placed, and a handle of $12.2 million was wagered at the temporary book.
Wow.
Just in September.
I can't wait till that's built. It should be absolutely amazing there.
I'm very curious to see what Gambit's numbers are. Because, again, they should have had an increase, too, with all the sports going on.
Washington's interesting because I'm really interested to see what happens when Virginia comes on board with sports betting, because I know Virginia is taking applications now for licenses.
Yeah.
So that's not far behind. So I'm wondering how the Virginia sports betting market will affect the Washington, D.C. sports betting market. So it should be interesting to see, how they get along with each other.
Well, funny you should say that. Virginia began taking applications on October 15th.
See, you give me a page like it's a thing. It's like a roadmap that we follow. I just never looked at it. It's down further. Okay, I see it now. You have Virginia on the sheet.
One of the few states not allowing paper applications. You have to submit everything electronically.
Well, good. That's pretty good.
90-day approval process.
We call that streamlining.
Yes, I guess so.
That's what it is.
Also, I guess maybe it's a little COVID inspiring. Inspiration there.
I would guess so.
Yeah. Limited to mobile online platforms at the outset right now.
All right.
There are, 5 brick-and-mortar locations, and also any pro team headquartered in Virginia can apply for sports betting.
Interesting.
So I'm trying to think of what pro sports teams are headquartered in Virginia.
I don't know. Well, pro team of any level? I mean, can a minor league baseball team apply? Is that what they're saying? Is that a pro team?
That's what I'm asking.
Is that what they consider? I don't know.
I just saw that and I threw that out there.
We should find that out.
Just a couple of partnerships here to be aware of. Bristol is partnered with Hard Rock.
All right.
So you'll probably see a Hard Rock sports betting casino online system there. Danville has one with Caesars.
This is Virginia, right?
This is all Virginia. And
all right.
Portsmouth is with Bet Rivers, or Rush Street, however you want to refer to it.
All right.
They're going to have a minimum of 11 and a maximum of 14 digital platforms. So there's going to be 14 skins available in the state.
A lot to choose from. It's only good for the customer. More choices are really good for the consumer, so that's good.
And the way it's broken down, 5 of those of the 14 have to be tethered to casinos. The other 9 can be standalone mobile platforms or partnered with the pro team, like we just talked about.
See, that's very interesting.
That's a different way of doing things.
I'm very curious how that works out. That should be very interesting.
And a couple other news and notes. We talked about BetMGM a little bit with the golf tournament, doing the odds integrated into the telecast for the CJ Cup this past weekend. Again, they did it kind of seamlessly, and they had not only the opening odds, but also they updated the odds as the tournament was going on for who was going to win and who was the winner of the championship. Every time you saw one of the golfers put on the screen, they actually had a list of the current odds for him to finish to win.
See, that's huge for in-play betting, in-game betting, wherever you call it. But that's just enormous. That's the information I'm talking about.
Yep.
That's how bettors get better.
And the bettors get better.
There you go. Yeah, I'm going to do a T-shirt.
It was actually kind of interesting because it was done twice an hour throughout the entire telecast. And not only did they have the odds to win the championship and also the odds to make a birdie, par, or a bogey on a specific hole for a golfer, they also had odds for head-to-head matchups. As well.
I got to tell you, I love betting on golf because it's just you have enough time between shots to put your bet in with your phone. It's just such a fun thing to do, betting on golf.
And last but not least for this episode of the book report, Indiana. I just want to give you a little list of a couple interesting new sports betting registrants. These are people who are registered to be affiliate marketers for sports betting.
Okay.
Chad Johnson.
Ooh.
Ocho Cinco himself has registered for a sports betting affiliate marketing license in Indiana. And I thought this one was really interesting. Top Golf, the golfing group.
I love Top Golf.
And Jim Cramer. The Mad Money guy?
Really?
Jim Cramer's Cramer Digital.
Interesting.
Got a
that's Jim
affiliate.
Cramer's?
That's yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Cramer Digital now is a sports betting affiliate marketing entity in Indiana.
Interesting.
Legally registered.
I did not know that.
So I just thought that was an interesting little thing that I noticed when I got the list of all the updated registrants for Indiana. And again, Ocho Cinco and Jim Cramer. Going to be fun to watch that one.
Interesting.
I don't know exactly what Cramer's going to be doing, but, he does have his own, digital TV show and also his podcast and everything. So why not take advantage of it?
Okay.
Tons of other things that we didn't hit today. Head on over to Turnpike Sports blog, turnpikesportsradio.com. Click on the blog, and you'll see all the news and notes from this week's book report. The ones we did hit and ones we haven't hit are going to be put up there.
And that'll do it for us. If you're going out to one of the newly reopened casinos or sportsbooks, please be safe. We'll talk to you next time on the Turnpike.